So this is the Sony ZV-E10, and in this video I got like 10 reasons why you should have one of these as well. Without any further delay, let's roll the intro. And so before anything else, I would like to officially welcome you to my channel. Thank you for making it past the intro. If you are into cameras, gadgets, technologies, all that good stuff, please do subscribe and hit that bell if you haven't yet. In that case, you won't miss out on anything from this channel. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Sony, how I wish. So everything that you're about to hear will all be true and from my heart. That being said, let's dive right into the topic. Reason number one is the price of the Sony ZV-E10, because by the time this video is made, the price of this camera is only $698. Yes, you heard it right. At that price point, you can already have a beast of a camera just like this one right here. So you might be thinking, why is it a beast of a camera? Well, let's move on to reason number two. The Sony ZV-E10 has an amazing autofocus system. Besides the fact that Sony is known for their autofocusing system, the Sony ZV-E10, I tell you now, is more than capable and reliable for both photo and video, like for real. Not forgetting, of course, that it has both the face and eye tracking, which is again super amazing. Especially in how I do things, I mainly do talking head videos, so having this camera with great autofocus is more than good enough. Thank you, Sony. Reason number three, the Sony ZV-E10 has a fully articulating screen. Yes, you heard it right. So if you are a vlogger, you're doing handheld vlog or whatsoever, this is an advantage for you. As a matter of fact, even if you're not vlogging, the fully articulating screen of this camera is always an advantage in many situations. Like in my case, I don't usually do handheld vlogging, but I still find this particular feature very useful. Like for real. Reason number four, the Sony ZV-E10 has a microphone input. Actually, not just a microphone input, but it also has a monitor output port. Again, this is another feature that benefits us content creators. Because imagine, you can already connect your microphone directly to the camera without any in-between recorders or whatsoever. And I don't know about you, but at this day and age, I believe that it is almost like a requirement. Would you agree? And guess what? This camera has both the microphone input and the monitor output. I actually don't use the monitor output, but yeah, it's a good thing to have it there still. What reason are we in? Price, microphone input, autofocus. Reason number five, the Sony ZV-E10 can shoot 4K video. Yes, you heard it right. This little camera right here can record glorious 4K video. And I tell you folks, it's now 2022 and 4K is the way to go. If you've been following the channel for quite some time now, you'd know that I always shoot 4K. I always shoot and export 4K videos. In my not so professional opinion, 4K video gives me that crisp or that very high quality video output. Like there was one time I shot in 1080p and I didn't like the output that much. So I'm really glad that whenever I want to go somewhere and I want to go low-key and I don't want to bring a big camera, I love that this camera, this little guy right here, can shoot 4K video. But mind you, if you shoot at 4K, you can't do 120 frames per second. As a matter of fact, you can only go for up to 30 frames per second. And again, as to how I do things, 24 frames per second is more than good enough. So I don't have a problem with the 4K features of this camera. But what if you really want to do 120 frames per second? Is this camera really not capable? I'd say not really, because this camera can shoot 120 frames per second but at 1080p HD quality. So again, 4K up to 30 frames per second and 1080p for 120 frames per second. You tell me, is that good enough for you or not? But again, in my case, it is. Oh, by the way, this doesn't have a record limit. You can record as long as you have battery and memory. How crazy is that? Reason number six is this camera has the Sony's famous picture profiles. Meaning to say, this camera right here can also shoot S-Log. How amazing is that? So if you are into color grading in post, shooting in S-Log is ideal because you want to keep those highlights and shadows whenever you edit in post. I don't want to dive any more into the different picture profiles of this camera, but I always do S-Log 2 because this is an 8-bit camera. So yeah, S-Log 2 or HLG. Those are my go-to picture profiles. Reason number 7 is the Sony ZV-E10 has a product showcase feature. For someone like me who mainly does product reviews, having that feature is clearly an advantage because with the product showcase feature, I don't need to worry about my eyes being captured with the camera because it focuses automatically on the product, like the product showcase. You get the point. And believe me, it is useful beyond measure, like for real. By the way, the product showcase feature is also available in the Sony ZV-1, but not in the Sony a6400, 65, 61, whatsoever. So yes, thank you Sony for including that in the Sony ZV-E10. Reason number 8 is on the photo side of things. The Sony ZV-E10 has a 24 megapixels. For better understanding and just for reference, this is my main smartphone, the iPhone 13 Pro. And I tell you now, this has an amazing camera system. But guess what? This only has 12 megapixels. So having this Sony ZV-E10 with double the megapixels of my camera, which is more than reliable for how I do things, I love the 24 megapixels of the Sony ZV-E10. It offers something that my iPhone cannot offer. And when I say more than good enough, because I'm not a professional photographer or videographer, so I mainly do or I mainly post on my social media account. So having a camera with 24 megapixels is just, more than capable and more than good enough. But I actually believe that you can probably use this for professional work as well, because again, 24 megapixels is a lot. You know what I mean? But yeah, of course, if you are a professional, I would rather go for higher megapixels. But then again, I'm just saying that 24 megapixels offers a lot already. Yeah. Reason number 9. With all the features mentioned, the Sony ZV-E10 remains compact and portable. And to be honest, this is one of the main factors why I chose this camera. In case you don't know yet, my main camera is the one that I'm using right now, which is the Sony a7 IV. And this is an amazing camera. However, there came a point that I find it very bulky and very shouting. You know what I mean? Like whenever I want to go outside for a casual walk or something, I find the Sony a7 IV somehow overkill, at least in terms of its size. And so I thought I wanted a smaller camera with a beast of a specs as well. And this is exactly it. Beast of a camera in terms of specification and yet compact and portable. I actually tried comparing this side by side with the Sony a6400 and guess what? This is much smaller as well. Not really super small compared to Sony a6400, but it is smaller, which is amazing and perfect for me. So whenever I go outside for a quick errand or something, this is my new go-to camera. And lastly, reason number 10, the Sony ZV-E10, just like any other Sony cameras, because of its E-mount system, has tons of lens options, like for real. Like from Sony themselves or from third-party companies, lens options for Sony E-mount system are massive. I got a bunch of lens reviews already on my channel. You can watch that after this video. Shameless plug. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. As for conclusion, with all the features of the Sony ZV-E10 at a fairly affordable price, I'd say this is a great value camera for content creators like you and me. There you go, folks. I am sure I wasn't able to cover everything, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section or we can connect on Instagram or on Facebook. As I end, if you're getting value from this video, please do like and subscribe for more not super technical but rather practical approach to gadgets and technologies. Until then, thank you for watching. You know what? I had a great time doing this video. As a matter of fact, it was too great that I forgot to mention one of the main reasons why I bought this camera. Can you believe that? I forgot to mention one of my main reasons why I bought this. Well, anyway, that's life. That's why I'm here. So ladies and gentlemen, here I am again saying to you that the 11th or probably the first reason that I should have mentioned in this video is that this camera has active mode stabilization. Yes, that's right. This camera doesn't have IBIS or the in-body image stabilization, but it has active mode stabilization when you're shooting videos. And that for me, since I don't have a gimbal, is a very, very important factor. It's just that when you're using active mode stabilization, there is a crop factor that you should expect. But yeah, that's what I forgot. This camera, again and again, has active mode stabilization. Very, very useful, especially if you're doing handheld shots. Anyway, yeah,